Hi and welcome everyone to another video. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you a free draft for Gaming 13 of Fantasy Premier League, so let's just get into it. Okay guys, so as I said before, today we're going to talk about free Gaming 13 in Fantasy Premier League, and we're going to talk also about the draft I just made. But before, as you can see, the fixtures are right up there, so I'm going to discuss a little bit about the pros and cons, and again, why would you use your free in Gaming 13. Again, I think that is going to be a really popular strategy for a lot of people, and the reasons are pretty obvious. Again, if you have some players, a lot of players from Chelsea, a lot of players from Arsenal, they are going to play against each other. So again, maybe you want to go a little bit different. Maybe you have some players from Crystal Palace, from Manchester United. Maybe you have someone like Keane against Newcastle. So yeah, you got the idea. If you have some players who have tricky fixtures, let's say, then again, using your free in Gaming 13 could be useful. Again, the one of the main reasons for people to use their free in Gaming 13, it would be to just have some Liverpool players, since not a lot of people have someone like Mohamed Salah or not. Now again, after Liverpool just lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest at home to Anfield, that minimalized a little bit the idea of the free. But again, I still think that it is okay. The fixture for Liverpool is great against West Ham. Now again, at the moment, Liverpool are just not clicking defensive wise, attacking wise. They are just really bad. Let's be honest at the moment. Now, we all know, or at least I'm pretty sure they're going to be better soon enough, hopefully. But we just don't know when that's going to happen. So, again, if that's going to put you off using your free in Gaming 13, that's perfectly fine. But if not, another reason to use your free is to stack up with a lot of players from Manchester City, who, as you can see, are going to play against Leeds. Some players from Brentford, again, you don't need to go for 3, you don't need to go for 2. If you want, you can just go for someone like Thiago, but they are going to play at home against Burnley, so that's a pretty nice fixture. Maybe some players from Bournemouth, but they're going to play against Sunderland away, so not the best fixture, I would say, right now. And also Liverpool are going to play against West Ham. So again, these are the reasons. Aston Villa also are going to play at home to Wolverhampton. So again, if I was using the free, I would have 3 players from Liverpool, probably 3 players from Manchester City, and yeah, as you can see from the screen, I can't really afford with my current budget this free team, but maybe you can. And if not, we're going to discuss also about what you can do. Now on the bench, I'm stacked with a lot of really cheap players for me to be able to almost afford this team. Again, let's talk a little bit about Liverpool. So they are really bad, as I said before. I think that you should still be targeting some of their players. Maybe you don't want to go for 3, but I'm pretty sure I would have Mohamed Salah. I know that he's in really bad form at the moment, but he would be a really nice option on a free. And I think that you also need to take some advantage of going different, taking some differentials. Now, this free, as you can see, could go totally wrong, but this is pretty much could happen every week. As you can see, a lot of people have 3 players from Crystal Palace who could totally just destroy Manchester United, so it could go wrong. Arsenal could keep a clean sheet against Chelsea, or someone like João Pedro, Enzo could do well against Arsenal. So these things could happen in football, but again, this is how I would go probably. I would have Virgil van Dijk if you can afford him. If not, probably I would go for Konate. But again, Konate was just took off yesterday in the before 60 minutes, so I'm not sure if I would be taking that risk anymore right now. But yeah, usually I would be okay with going with Konate if you can't afford him. Mohamed Salah would be on the free, definitely. And then the third Liverpool player, it is a tricky decision to do. If you want to go safe, probably just go for someone like Soboslai, also a lot more cheaper than someone like Gakpo. Again, if someone like Ekitike or Isak, if you can guarantee me that one of them is going to start against West Ham, then yeah, it would be a really nice idea to have Alexander Isak on a free. But at the moment, I just can't really justify doing that. But yeah, again, it would be a nice differential. Also, let's talk also a little bit about Brentford. They're going to play against Burnley. Thiago would be 100% on the free, on penalties, good minutes. Again, and the rate Brentford are getting penalties is just outrageous at the moment. So yeah, definitely I don't think that they're going to get 2 penalties every gaming, but having Thiago makes a lot of sense. Shade is a really interesting one, and also I would have a defender, probably Van de Berg, Collins, maybe someone like Kelleher in goal if you want to. With Manchester City is probably one of the trickiest decision to pick 3 players from Manchester City, because yeah, obviously Haaland would be in your team. Then in an ideal world, you would like to have to target to have three city attackers, but at the moment, I just nobody's going to go for Reinders. Are you 100% sure Doku is going to start? So I have Foden at the moment, but again, this comes with a risk. Players like Foden, Gakpo could easily just miss out. Again, they're not going to miss out entirety of the game. They're going to come in from the bench, but on a free you want players who are going to play pretty much close to 90 minutes if possible. So yeah, it doesn't make probably a lot of sense to have too many of these players, but Foden at the moment he was getting good minutes. So again, his numbers are not great, talking about FPL points in the recent weeks, but I think that I would take that risk with Foden. And in goal, as you can see, I have Donnarumma. Now, again, if you want to go for someone like Vardiol, if you want to go for someone like O'Reilly, that's perfectly fine. And we're going to discuss about different permutations here. The last team here is Aston Villa, which I have just two players from them. I think that I would go for Cash on a free. He's an attacking defender. We know that he can score a goal, and yeah, they're going to play against Wolverhampton home, so it makes a lot of sense to have Cash. You could go for Consta if you want to be more safe, or someone like Dini, but again, probably I would just pick Cash. And I have also Rogers here. I don't think that I would go for Watkins because his numbers are just not great this season, but someone like Rogers, I would like to have some. Piece of that Aston Villa attack against Wolverhampton. You could go really more different if you want for someone like Buendia if you trust his minutes. But again, if you don't afford this draft, what you can do obviously is to just you can go for someone like Martinez from Aston Villa in goal. And if you're feeling lucky, then I would say try to pick a Man City defender. If that's going to be Mateusz Cunha, again, that's your choice, or you could go for someone like O'Reilly. If I can find him, yeah, he's 5 million. So yeah, if you think that he's going to have good minutes, he could be an amazing pick, obviously, against Leeds at home. But also, I think that this is a good opportunity for someone like Anuary to get some minutes. So again, that's why I'm not sure if I would go personally there. Now, again, what you can do different permutations. If you want to go for three players from Aston Villa, again, I just don't think that I would do it. I don't think that I can afford to have Watkins in this draft. In the goalkeeper spot, let's say, looking at the fixtures, you could have someone like Kelleher, someone like Donnarumma. You could even go for someone like Allison and maybe just play double Liverpool defense. But again, I'm not sure how good that sounds right now after they conceded 3 goals against Nottingham Forest at home. So probably you're not going to do that. Or yeah, other players, Crystal Palace against Man United, I think that I would avoid them. Nottingham Forest against Brighton, I think that I would avoid. You could go for a defender from Spurs if you want, I think, against Fulham. But yeah, Bournemouth could be an option. Let's try to put here Kelleher in goal. So he's 4.5. Then you need to find another defender to put here instead of Van den Berg. Now, again, let's just put back Matty Cash here, if I can do that. And I have 5.3 millions. So you could go for someone like Nunes from Manchester City. So this is another option, which I don't dislike. Yeah, Nunes could be attacking. We know that Man City could keep a clean sheet against Leeds. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I think that I would just go for Donnarumma just because for the safety of my mind to have a defender from Manchester City who I'm not going to be needing to check the spreadsheet before the game. But again, on a free, obviously, if you want to have a better bench, again, if you're going to go for picks like Foden, Gakpo, although they're going to get minutes anyway, so you don't really need to have a strong bench on a free, but you can do that if, let's say, we're going to do that. Let's just put another defender here, 4.8. That would be someone like, let's say, Ballard or something like that. So yeah, and then you have a decent first defender on your bench. So again, this is about the free gaming 13. Let's see how gaming 12 is going to end up. But pretty much this is how I'm thinking. I think that I would go for 3 players from Brentford because I just want to target that fixture against Burnley. And not a lot of people have 3 players from Brentford, let's be honest. 3 from City, it's tricky to pick 3 of them. Again, at the moment, I think that this is how I would go with Haaland and Foden. and someone of Guardiola or Donnarumma probably are much more safer than Mateus Nunes. But yeah, pretty much that's it. And I would have Mohamed Salah. If you, again, if you want to have someone like Bukayo Saka instead of Salah against Chelsea, that's perfectly fine. But I just think that I would try to go a little bit more different on a free. And yeah, I really like this midfield also with Soboslai. So yeah, please let me know in the comments down below. Are you free in Gaming 13? And also, how is your team looking? What would you change? And thanks a lot for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.